welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. The nation is observing Rashtriya Ekta Divas today on the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. That is our top focus on Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let's take a look at the other top stories in the headlines. Nation marks the National Unity Day on 142nd birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. President, Vice President, Prime Minister and Home Minister pay floral tributes. Run for Unity flagged off. Supreme Court to set up Constitution Bench to hear plea against Aadhaar. Asks West Bengal government how it can challenge Parliament's mandate on making Aadhaar mandatory to avail welfare benefits. India and Italy signed 6 agreements, including in areas of railway safety and mutual trade. During meeting with Italian counterpart, Prime Minister Narendra Modi seeks coordinated action on counter-terrorism and cyber security. One person killed as heavy rains lash Tamil Nadu. Schools and colleges in Chennai and Kanchipuram closed. Met Department predicts more rainfall in the next 24 hours. And India defeat China in the second Pool A match of the Women's Hockey Asia Cup 2017. Will face Malaysia in the last Pool A match today. Our top story this morning, nation is observing Rashtriya Ekta Divas on the 142nd birth anniversary of the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. A short while ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi flagged off the Run for Unity event at Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium in the national capital. Now, students along with ex-servicemen, athletes and volunteers are participating in this event. Later in the day, a function to pay floral tribute to Sardar Patel will be held in Central Hall of Parliament as well.
उस महापुरुष ने देश के आजादी के बाद की संकट की घड़ियों से बिखराव के वातावरण से आंतरिक संघर्ष की चरम सीमा के बीच अपने कौशल्य के द्वारा, अपनी दृढ़ शक्ति के द्वारा, अपनी सर्वोत्कृष्ट भारत भक्ति के द्वारा उन्होंने देश को न सिर्फ आजादी के समय पैदा हुए संकटों से बचाया, लेकिन उन्होंने सैकड़ों राजे रजवाड़े जो अंग्रेजों की इरादा था कि अंग्रेज जाने के बाद ये देश बिखर जाए, छोटी छोटी रियासतों में बंट जाए, भारत का नामो निशान न रहे, ये सरदार वल्लभभाई पटेल का संकल्प बल था। ये सरदार वल्लभभाई पटेल की दीर्घ दृष्टि थी कि उन्होंने साम, दाम, दंड, भेद, हर प्रकार की नीति, कूटनीति, रणनीति उसका उपयोग करते हुए बहुत ही कम समय में देश को एकता के सूत्र में बांध दिया।
सरदार वल्लभभाई पटेल की भूमिका भौगोलिक और राजनीतिक दृष्टि से पूरे भारत को एक करने में क्या रही है, इससे हिंदुस्तान का बच्चा बच्चा अच्छी तरह परिचित है। जिस समय भारत आजाद हुआ था, उहापोह की स्थिति थी, कई रियासतों में यह भारत बटा हुआ था। सारी रियासतों को एकजुट करने में सबसे महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका यदि किसी ने निभाई तो वह सरदार वल्लभभाई पटेल ने भी निभाई।
President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi paying tributes to country's first Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at Patel Chowk in Delhi before flagging off the Run for Unity event. Home Minister Rajnath Singh also present.
प्रकृति के हृदय में हो रहे इस स्पंदन की साक्षी हैं, हम धन्य हैं।
The 1.5-kilometer run in Delhi started from the National Stadium, where a large number of people, including sports personalities like PV Sindhu, Mithali Raj and Sardar Singh, participated.
हवाएं कितना भी टकराएं आंधियां बनकर, मगर घटाओं के परचम कभी नहीं झुकते.
To mark the 142nd birth anniversary of the country's first Home Minister, state governments, central ministries have also organized National Unity Day events. Government introduced National Unity Day to commemorate the birth anniversary of Sardar Patel in 2014 as a day to preserve and strengthen unity, integrity and security of India. One of the founding fathers of the nation, Patel played a leading role in the country's struggle for independence. He also acted as de facto Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army during the political integration of India and also the Indo-Pak War of 1947. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. On to the other top story. The Supreme Court has said that a constitution bench will be set up to hear a bunch of petitions challenging the centre's decision to make Aadhaar mandatory for availing various services and government welfare schemes. Now, the constitution bench would commence hearing on these petitions in the last week of November. On Monday, the apex court took to task the West Bengal government for filing a plea challenging the centre's move. It asked the state government how it can challenge the mandate of Parliament and also directed West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee to file the plea as an individual. Mamata Banerjee responded saying that she will obey the directive of the Supreme Court.
We have the highest respect for the court. Court have given their verdict. We will obey by that. I don't think there is any problem. So it's okay. We appreciate that. It's okay. Court didn't say that rejected. Court say individual appeal can do. We have done because we have some ground, so it's okay. We accepted the court verdict. That is not the problem. And already individual, some people have already filed. I know that.
A 9-judge constitution bench had recently held that the right to privacy was a fundamental right under the constitution. This after several petitioners challenging the validity of Aadhaar said that the scheme violates individual privacy rights. The petitioners had also termed the linking of Aadhaar with the bank accounts and mobile numbers as illegal and unconstitutional. The deadline for this mandatory linking has now been extended till 31st of March till next year for those who currently do not have it but are willing to have it. However, the centre told the court that the absence of an Aadhaar card would not mean denial of benefits of welfare schemes. And let's take a look at the important cases that are lined up for hearing in the Supreme Court today. Now, Supreme Court will begin the final hearing of a plea challenging the Bombay High Court order granting bail to Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, an accused in the 2008 Malegaon blast case. NIA had filed its reply in the case, saying that there was no evidence against Thakur. Supreme Court will also hear PILs on cow vigilantism today. It includes the one filed by Tushar Gandhi, the great-grandson of Mahatma Gandhi. On 6th of September, the Supreme Court had directed all the 29 states and 7 union territories to take steps to stop violence in the name of cow protection. On 22nd of September, Supreme Court had asked the chief secretaries of 22 states to file compliance reports in pursuance of its order. The apex court will also hear a plea filed by Maharashtra government challenging the acquittal of Bollywood actor Salman Khan in the 2002 hit-and-run case. On 5th of July last year, the apex court admitted the Maharashtra government's plea challenging the Bombay High Court's verdict. And India and Italy inked 6 pacts on Monday, which included plans on boosting cooperation in the energy and trade sectors after extensive talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Italian counterpart Paolo Gentiloni. The two leaders also held discussions on key issues such as terrorism and cybercrime. Gentiloni is on a 2-day visit to India, becoming the first Italian Prime Minister to visit India in a decade.
In a delegation-level talks with his Italian counterpart Paolo Gentiloni, Prime Minister Narendra Modi pitched for coordinated action on counter-terrorism and cybersecurity. Gentiloni is on a 2-day visit to India. In March 2018, India and Italy will be completing 70 years of diplomatic relations. Both leaders, who later addressed a joint media event, also discussed ways to strengthen the bilateral political and economic relations between India and Italy.
हम दोनों आतंकवाद के सभी रूपों से लड़ने और साइबर सिक्योरिटी पर सहयोग मजबूत करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं। दोनों पक्ष साझा चुनौतियां एवं हितों के मामलों में विभिन्न वैश्विक मंचों पर एक दूसरे का समर्थन करने और निकट सहयोग करने पर सहमत हैं।
I believe that relaunching our diplomatic relations provides a major opportunity to do more. And of course, as Mr. Modi was saying, also to confirm our common approach to some of the major global challenges we have before us, from climate change to combating terrorism to defending the values of democracy.
Praising the strong ties between India and Italy, Modi noted there is a huge potential to widen India-Italy trade ties. After the Modi-Gentiloni meeting, both sides signed 6 pacts, including in areas of railway safety and mutual trade investments.
फ्लैगशिप प्रोग्राम्स एंड प्रोजेक्ट्स में इटालियन कंपनियों द्वारा और मजबूत भागीदारी को प्रोत्साहित करना चाहेंगे। भारतीय कंपनियों के साथ कोलैबोरेशन में उनके लिए अपार संभावनाएं हैं। स्मार्ट सिटीज, फूड प्रोसेसिंग, फार्मास्यूटिकल्स, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जैसे अनेक क्षेत्रों में हमारी आवश्यकताओं, इटली की विशेषज्ञता एवं क्षमताओं से बहुत मिलती जुलती है।
India is a country which we need to work with to further improve our cooperation. Mr. Modi has indicated some very important branches in which cooperation can take place. Railway infrastructures, major shipyards, the challenge of renewables.
Both Prime Ministers also interacted with 12 Indian and 19 Italian business leaders. Earlier in the day, Gentiloni was accorded ceremonial welcome at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The visiting leader called on President Ramnath Kovind and Vice President Venkaiah Naidu. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj also called on Gentiloni to discuss issues of mutual interest. Gentiloni arrived in New Delhi on Sunday for the first such visit by an Italian Prime Minister in a decade.
It's a relaunch of diplomatic relationship between India and Italy. Economically, we had been doing well, and indeed, there are directions that we will do well. But now it is time for political convergence. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person D.K. Pandey in Delhi.
And in a first high-level visit after the 73-day-long Doklam standoff was resolved, Bhutan's royal couple will begin their 4-day visit to India from today. Now, during the visit, Bhutanese King Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk and his wife Queen Jetsupema Wangchuk will meet President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and other ministers will also call on the king. The visit by Bhutan's royal couple comes just weeks after Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar held talks with the king, the Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of the country during the visit to Thimphu. Now, according to the MEA, the visit is aimed at reviewing bilateral cooperation, including plans for benefiting the celebrations of 50 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries next year. And Vice President Venkaiah Naidu inaugurated the Vigilance Awareness Week 2017 on Monday. Vice President Naidu stressed that clean polity is imperative for India to become a stronger economic power. He also stressed that every citizen can enjoy his rights and lead a better quality of life only if there is good governance.
सीवीसी ऐसी ही पवित्र दीप ज्योति से समाज में सत्यनिष्ठा, पारदर्शिता और जवाबदेही के उजाले भरे मील के पत्थर.
Inaugurating the Vigilance Awareness Week 2017 on Monday, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that India must strike at the roots of corruption. He also hailed demonetization as an important step in weeding out corruption.
The black sheep in all walks of life are visible face of corruption. They thrive in a system that has low accountability, low transparency, and then cumbersome, poorly understood procedures, and high discretionary powers. It is this system that we should reform and transform. That's why the Prime Minister has given a 3-line mantra. He said, reform, perform, and transform.
The Vice President also underscored the importance of a strong civil society and the role of a free press and independent judiciary in good governance. He said objective and balanced reporting by a neutral media that is ethical in its functioning will have a huge impact.
स्वराज्य मिल गया, स्वराज्य को स्वराज्य के रूप में बदलना चाहिए। तो प्रधानमंत्री ने भी कहा विकास मेरा लक्ष्य है और विकास के लिए सुशासन भी चाहिए। Development is the agenda. But at the same time, the development, if it reach people, you need to have good governance.
The Vice President expressed hope that the Central Vigilance Commission that organised the Awareness Week, along with other bodies like the Central Information Commission, the Election Commission of India and the Controller and Auditor General of India, will contribute to a clean and corruption-free India by 2022. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has also said that there is a need to bridge the gap in economic inequality. Vice President Naidu was addressing a gathering after releasing the book, The 21st Century Geopolitics, Democracy and Peace, authored by former Governor of Sikkim, BP Singh, in New Delhi. The Vice President also spoke how good governance and development should go hand in hand. Naidu also spoke on environmental protection. Now, Jammu and Kashmir Governor N.N. Vohra and other dignitaries were present on the occasion.
One of the important components for peace, as I told you, is progress and development. Mere development alone will not suffice unless development is followed by good governance. विकास के साथ ही साथ सुशासन भी होना चाहिए। सुशासन बहुत जरूरी है, नहीं तो जो सरकार यहाँ जो सोचेंगे वो नीचे तक नहीं गया तो मतलब नहीं है कार्यक्रमों का।
And Breakfast News will take a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us. Welcome back after the break. Now, the centre has formed a 3-member ministerial committee headed by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley to oversee the merger proposal of state-owned banks. The other members of the panel are Railway and Coal Minister Piyush Goyal and Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Now, the move aims to create a larger credit for public sector banks so that they can raise the resources without any dependence on the state exchequer. The newly constituted mechanism body will oversee the proposals coming from the boards of PSPs for consolidation. Earlier, the Union Cabinet had decided to set up an alternative mechanism to fast-track consolidation among public sector banks to create strong lenders. News from the Congress's camp and the party's Vice President Rahul Gandhi chaired 2 meetings with the party General Secretaries on the issues of demonetization and GST on Monday. Party leaders said that the meetings were convened to chalk out plans for the first note ban anniversary that the Congress is observing as a Black Day across the country. Now, speaking to media persons after the meetings, Rahul Gandhi claimed that India's economy has been adversely affected by demonetization and GST.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी और उनकी सरकार ने कहा है कि वो 8 नवंबर को सेलिब्रेट करेंगे, खुशी मनाएंगे। जो देश के दिल में फीलिंग है वो शायद प्रधानमंत्री को अभी तक समझ नहीं आई है। जो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने नोटबंदी की वो ऑल एंड आउट एंड आउट डिजास्टर था। पता नहीं किस चीज का सेलिब्रेशन करेंगे, मगर 8 नवंबर हिंदुस्तान के लिए दुख का दिन है।
At a meeting of the members of the Patidar Anamat Andolan Samiti or PAAS and Gujarat Congress leaders, including State Chief Bharat Singh Solanki, took place on Monday in Ahmedabad. Now, 5 demands put forward by the PAAS were discussed during the meeting. The PAAS leaders say that they got assurances on all but one, and that the issue is a crucial issue of a reservation for Patels. Now, an assurance on reservation is a precondition that PAAS leader Hardik Patel has said to lend support to the Congress ahead of the Gujarat Assembly elections. Now, after the meeting, PAAS leaders say that since the issue is a technical one, the Congress has said that it would want to involve legal experts before deciding. Another round of discussions between the two sides is slated for 7th of November. Now, reacting to the meeting, the BJP said that the PAAS and the Congress are misleading the people of Gujarat on the issue of reservation. The Patidar community in Gujarat are demanding OBC status for their community.
जो खास तौर पर आरक्षण के जिस मुद्दे पर हम बातचीत करने गए थे, उस मुद्दों पर उन्होंने स्पष्ट कहा है कि इस मुद्दा टेक्निकली मुद्दा है। अगर हम आपको बात कर देंगे कि हाँ चलो हमने आपको 15% दे दिया, 20% दे दिया, लेकिन संविधान के आधार पर कोर्ट ने उसको मान्य नहीं रखा, तो क्या करोगे?
हमारा अगत्य का जो मुद्दा था पाटीदार समाज का अनामत का मुद्दा, उसमें 1.5-2 घंटे बहुत गहन चर्चा हुई है। कायदा की और टेक्निकल बाबत में कोई गूंच ना आए और समाज को अच्छी तरह से अनामत मिले, उसके बारे में दोनों पक्ष कायदे की और टेक्निकल निष्णातों की सलाह लेंगे और आने वाले अगले दिनों में फिर से ये चर्चा आगे बढ़ेगी।
आज कांग्रेस और आंदोलनकारियों के बीच में बैठक हुई। हम पहले से कह रहे थे कि आंदोलन के पीछे कांग्रेस है और आंदोलन करने वाले लोग भी कांग्रेस के एजेंट है। ये आज धीरे धीरे इस बात सपाटी पर आ रही है।
On to news from Tamil Nadu, where heavy rains lashed several parts of the state, disrupting normal life. Now, traffic in Chennai came to a grinding halt at several locations. Buses were delayed in several areas due to waterlogging. Rains have also claimed one life in Thanjavur district. Now, the collectors have declared that all schools and colleges in Chennai and Kanchipuram will remain closed today. Intermittent rains under the influence of an upper air cyclonic circulation over the southwest Bay of Bengal began on Sunday night in parts of the state. The Met Department has forecast heavy to very heavy rains in some areas of coastal districts, including the capital city and its neighborhood, in the next 24 hours.
Fairly widespread rainfall is expected to occur over the interior parts, and widespread rainfall is expected over the coastal regions of Tamil Nadu during next 24 hours. As far as the heavy rainfall is concerned, coastal regions, one or two places, heavy to very heavy rainfall is expected.
And India and Pakistan held a Director General of Military Operations level talks on Monday. The request for the unscheduled hotline interaction came from the Pakistani side. Indian DGMO Lieutenant General A.K. Bhatt conveyed to its Pakistani counterpart that support to terrorism by the Pakistani army is unacceptable. He also said that the Indian army will continue to take all retaliatory measures to respond to such acts, and rejected Pakistan's allegations that Indian security forces resorted to unprovoked firing along the line of control. And the army personnel of India and China held a meeting on Monday at the historic Bamla Pass in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, the meeting aimed to maintain peace and tranquility along the Sino-India border. The Indian delegation was led by Brigadier M.P. Singh, while the Chinese delegation was headed by Senior Colonel Liu Xianxun. The meeting commenced with the hoisting of national flags and the rendition of national anthem of both the countries. The delegations interacted in a free and cordial environment and renewed commitments in maintaining peace along the line of actual control. Time for all the international news now. First news from the United States, and Special Counsel Robert Mueller has filed the first charges of his investigation into the Russian links to Donald Trump's election team. Now, charges were brought out against Paul Manafort, who headed the Trump campaign from June to August 2016, and another aide, Rick Gates. The judge ordered house arrest for both these men. While the two have pleaded not guilty, A third, George Papadopoulos, former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor, pleaded guilty to making a false statement to the FBI.
Today's announcement has nothing to do with the president, has nothing to do with the president's campaign or campaign activity. The real collusion scandal, as we've said several times before, has everything to do with the Clinton campaign, Fusion GPS, and Russia. There's clear evidence of the Clinton campaign colluding with Russian intelligence to spread disinformation and smear the president to influence the election. We've been saying from day one there's been no evidence of Trump-Russia collusion, and nothing in the indictment today changes that at all.
News from the world of sports, and India defeated China in the second Pool A match of the Women's Hockey Asia Cup 2017 in Japan. Now, goals by ace Indian players Gurjeet Kaur, Navjot Kaur, Neha Goyal and Rani ensured India's victory in the tournament. The Indian team previously had beaten Singapore 10-0 in their opening match. India will now face Malaysia in their last Pool A match today. That's it from me and my team in this edition of News. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day ahead.